Big hookup on the jigging Rap. I saw the white tip of the tail, folks. It is in fact a pretty large walleye. I hope it's hooked really good. I hope it's hooked really good. It was hooked really good. What's up, fisher people? It is it's basically end times for me. The North Dakota run is coming to an end very soon. But I got fish on the graph on my first spot to do it with. The water temps are finally in the 40s, Main Lake, 48, 49. And I got 2 more days, and then I gotta head back to Iowa before it's supposed to snow a little bit for about 3-4 days in a row. So this is the last I got. I kind of like to start the morning out with a minnow, but it's still like 29 degrees. So I kind of want to throw this jigging Rap around initially and keep my hands warm. But if I can't get bit, I'll suck it up and get a minnow out of the bucket. I also just heard that, and maybe I missed some of this while I was sick with COVID, but Jeff Ensminger, who I filmed that creek chub video with, got a walleye in Sakakawea that was 34 plus inches, 16 plus pounds, like an ounce off the state record. So congrats to Ensminger. What a tank of a fish. I gotta look up the picture of that. One of my buddies called me today on the way to the lake and asked me if I'd seen it. I hadn't seen it, but as you can see, we got some wind today. We're gonna have more wind tomorrow. I can run a little bit today. It's not super comfortable fishing, but I can get around. We'll see if my spot lock holds very well, and then I'll see if I need to get a minnow down here to catch these fish. I'm marking pretty good on the shelf. It's boats in 24 feet, and I've been seeing fish back there probably 15 to 25. So I'm pitching up on top of the shelf trying to get a hit. So stay tuned, fisher people, for one of the last rides, if not the last, for 2022 Sakakawea open water. I do think we're in that distinct post-turnover period now. And we had, like last night was 18, 19 degrees overnight. So I think we are in that phase probably now where as it warms up during the day, the bite might actually get better. Now, we just had 2 days of pretty brisk cold front weather after those strings of 60, 70 degree days. So a lot of times after the turnover, a lot of times after those fronts, it takes fish a few days to adjust. But when it gets to serious fall stuff, sometimes that one day might actually awaken them. I'm hoping today is one of those days where the cold gave them a shot in the butt that they need to eat, and that as it warms up during the day, the bite gets better, the bite maybe gets shallower. We might get some fish up in 2, 3, 5 feet of water. I'm hoping that's the position we're in now. We have not seen that yet really this year, this fall. That's what I'm hoping upon hope for today. I'm gonna have to try some spots pretty soon where I can be in 25, 30 feet casting on towards shore, real steep breaks, so I can check all of that. And they like those steep breaks this time of year anyway, but it gives you that opportunity to cover a lot of contour lines in one cast. Big hookup on the jigging Rap. Big hookup. Big hookup. That fish was shallow as shallow can get out there. It's just making real hard bullet runs occasionally, which feel like a good walleye to me. Oh, it was a bomb cast too. Could be snagged, could be a pike. But it's got some good signs of potential. Definitely feels heavy, but again, whoa. When you get a snagged fish, things can feel heavy. So, could be hooked funny. He's making a lot of movement sideways right now into the wind, which makes it seem like a good strong fish. Boy, my forearm's already tired. Get my net in a good position. What do we got here for the first hookup of the day? Oh buddy, oh buddy, oh buddy, oh buddy. It's putting a lot of flex on this rod. I got a medium light on today, which can give me some more tangles if I do things wrong, but it can also give me a lot of bend to play a fish when they head shake with these jigging wraps, which helps keep it pinned. I saw the white tip of the tail, folks. It is in fact a pretty large walleye. Now I just need to get this one in the boat. There's the tail again. I hope it's hooked really good. I hope it's hooked really good. I hope it's hooked really good. Woo! It was hooked really good. Oh, that's a tank. Tank to start the day. I think first fish of the day is an absolute stud. Look at that. What a way to start. First fish of the day, 27 1/4. That's what I love about fall fishing. The big fish potential. Good hard fight, girl. Thank you for your hospitality. You're free to go when you're ready. See ya. Whew. My hands are freezing and I'm sweating. That's fall. That's how you do it. That's how you start the day. Whew. That minnow's probably dry. It's probably like, I got a close measurement. It's probably 27 1/4. The day's young and we're gonna keep pitching out here with the jigging wrap of these shallow fish. Good start. I really didn't want to get ahead of myself while I was fighting that fish, but the whole way I was thinking to myself, I do think this is a big walleye. You get so many crazy things with jig wrap fishing. So I didn't know, but I had a really good feeling the way that was fighting. And it's taken me a couple of runs at it, but I wanted to get a pig on this spot for my brother to give him a little redemption from last year when he had that monster walleye tail hooked and monster pike mouth hooked back-to-back casts, and we couldn't get either one in the boat. So it was nice to get a really big fish here in my brother's spirit. Wish you were here, Brandon. Wish you were here, man. Since that first fish, I've just been every once in a while sliding down the shelf looking for fish underneath or on side imaging. Found some here out on side imaging. Drove up ahead of him, spot locked on top of him, casting back to him. So we'll see if we can get some more to go. That's what I did with that big fish. I saw like 2 or 3 out there that looked pretty good on side imaging. So there were a lot more fish the first place that I was fishing, but I wasn't getting bit. So I just started driving around looking for a couple of pockets of fish like that. Got that one to go on the perch jigging wrap. But I think I know what my target is now. You know, getting the boat in 22 to 25. Maybe getting some fish under the boat and then pitching back to shallower ones. That's kind of the pattern so far. Got an hour since that toad. Working the same spot, marking plenty of nice fish. A couple different colored jigging wraps, jigging minnow, vertical casting. I don't know. Maybe that's all this spot was meant to give up today, was one toad. Might have to run around. New spot, better get first cast on camera. Another steep shelf, wind blowing right into it. I'm seeing fish marks when I crisscross. I'm seeing the tails just sticking out of the shelf. So they're fairly tight to bottom, holding fairly tight to the shelf. There's a hookup on the jigging Rap. Same general spot, just kind of slid down the bank a little bit. Found some shallower fish in side imaging. Pitched out to him. This is not a 27 incher. Might not be a sloucher. No, it's not a sloucher. Nice fish. Nice quality fish. Get my net out, huh? There we go, bit it in the mouth. Booyah. Chowing that chrome perch jigging Rap right there. First cast, like it. That was a shallow fish. Very shallow. Probably 10 feet of water at the most. Oh! I was just gonna say this spot appears to be stacked with fish. I bumped two and had a bite that I missed with the jigging Rap. I can't get anything on that jigging minnow right now. There's just tons of fish sitting in here though. Most of my bites have kind of came like casting somewhat sideways and working it across the bank as opposed to pitching straight into it, which makes it harder to hook up if you do have a little bit of bow in your line from the wind. So I'd like to get a fish more straight down, but I haven't gotten one to bite that way. These fish are sitting, like I even cruised in there with the boat and I marked fish in 10 to 12 feet of water. If you're marking fish under the boat in 10 feet of water, there's a lot of them there usually. Pretty small cone angle in 10 feet. There are so many fish here that if I could get 1 out of 10 to bite, this would be an amazing time. But I'm getting like 1 out of 100. And I do think I bumped like 5 fish. I think one of them, maybe 2, took a bite at it and missed. I can't catch him. There you go. No, take it. Go ahead. Okay. I'll keep waiting for him to turn on. I might try a couple other spots and come back here later. That's what I probably should do anyway. Just hard to leave this many fish, especially since I got one pretty quick. Drove around and looked at 5 other points. Every single point loaded with fish. 10, 15 to 25 feet. All over the place. So I'm just gonna start fishing them. See if one of them's actually got a biter on it. That one does. That one hit a minnow. Feels like a decent fish going out the other way. Now he's coming back over here. All over. Kind of acting like a bass maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a smallie. Stack of smallmouth here. At least we got a fish to bite though. Getting tired of not catching fish. Flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. Pick a side. Pick a side. Pick a side. We'll get this done, fish, don't worry. Nice tank smallie. What a weird day. Continues to be a weird late fall season. About 3 spots later, pulled up to a spot, pitched a minnow. Got an old tick bite on the minnow. Feels like a strong fish. Let's see if we can get out here and get the shot. That's a Walter. Up shallow, biting a minnow. Okay. Okay. About 8 miles upriver. Found a biting fish. Popped a minnow good. And it is 3:06, so I don't know if it's more spot or time of day. It's always hard to say. It's always a big question when you make a bunch of moves. Better time, better spot. I don't know. But I'm gonna reload, see if we can get another one up shallow there. And honestly, there's just not a ton of strategy to what I'm doing, because finding fish has not been the problem. It's a matter of finding fish that want to bite. So I've just been running to a spot, mark some fish, drop it in, throw 3 casts. Same thing, bang, 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 hitting spots, hitting points, hitting steep shoreline breaks, whatever it is. Something with the wind pushing into it. I've been finding fish on all of them, pretty much. Almost every spot's loaded with fish. Just got to get them to bite. So this one, finally, I had a bite on my first cast. Second hookup on the jigging Wrap this time. He's going berserko, all into my other line potentially. What is it? Smallmouth. Foul hooked. All right, recycling spots, hoping that time of day is in our favor. 3:32. Still got marks on one of these spots. We're just gonna bounce them on the way back to the ramp. Didn't get any off that first recycled spot. Went back to a second recycled spot. Got hooked up here on the jig and minnow on a rock pile shoreline. Point. Feels like a solid meaty walleye. Wow, okay. Taking a big dive there. All right. Get my net ready, I think. Show yourself. Show yourself, smallmouth. Nice bass though. Hoping for a walleye. That bass just sat on it like the other one. Not aggressive at all. I got out of the wind a little bit on the way back to the ramp. Threw a few jigging Wrap casts around, was about ready to leave, and then ripped into a fish here. So I better catch this one first, I guess. Did he bite it in the mouth, or is he foul hooked? That's my first question. Looks to be foul hooked. A little foul hooked. It's the 4th walleye we got in the boat anyway. Oh, he wants to poop in the boat. Okay. Let me clean that fish off. It actually smells a little muddy. I don't know if that was poop or all mud. Is he rooting in the mud for food? Or is that in fact turtage? I don't know. Some excitement to add to the end of the day anyway. Maybe we're just not there yet. November 5th. I appreciate you watching. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe support on Patreon if you're so kind. And see you next time / ice fishing season, fisher people.